Florida Senator Marco Rubio has expanded the warmth on previous Secretary of State John Kerry after he was gotten illicitly meeting in mystery with the Iranian remote priest after Donald Trump progressed toward becoming president and Kerry was again a private resident. As indicated by Fox News, the laws Rubio raised in a letter to Attorney General Jeff Sessions are the Logan Act and the Foreign Agents Registration Act. In the event that John Kerry is found to have disregarded these laws, he could wind up in jail for no less than 10 years. The Logan Act prohibits any unapproved individual from consulting with remote governments about debate or discussions with the U.S. The Foreign Agents Registration Act requires Americans speaking to the interests of outside forces to unveil insights about that relationship to American specialists. As indicated by Fox, Rubio composed Sessions on Tuesday asking for that the office make a judgment on whether Kerry abused both of these laws. In the letter, the Florida Republican clarified that Kerry's previous activity didn't make him excluded from the laws that administer every other person. Americans have the right to realize that U.S. laws are implemented paying little mind to any person's past position, Rubio composed, as indicated by Fox. Traditionalist Tribune reports, Kerry's gatherings with Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif have just been vigorously censured by authorities from the Trump Organization. As indicated by the Associated Press, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo a week ago blamed Kerry for currently undermining U.S. strategy by meeting with a pioneer of the world's biggest state backer of dread. Pompeo called attention to that Iranian-supported state armies had as of late let go at U.S. strategic mixes situated in Iraq. You can't discover points of reference for this in U.S. history, and Secretary Kerry should not to take part in that sort of conduct, Pompeo told correspondents, as per the AP. It's conflicting with what a remote approach of the United States is as coordinated by this president, and it is past wrong for him to be locked in. President Trump, who pulled back from the Iran atomic arrangement in May, tweeted on Thursday that John Kerry had unlawful gatherings with a specific unfriendly Iranian regime, which can just serve to undermine our awesome work to the drawback of the American individuals. He instructed them to endure the Trump administration. Is it true that he was enrolled under the Foreign Agents Registration Act? Awful. There have been reports of Kerry's Zarif gatherings since May. Kerry affirmed the gatherings in a meeting with radio host Hugh Hewitt on September 12, as indicated by a transcript of the meeting on Hewitt's site. I think I've seen him 3 or 4 times, Kerry said. He proceeded to state that he had not seen Zarif since Pompeo assumed control as Secretary of State in April. Kerry said in the meeting that he was not intriguing with Iran about how to deal with the Trump Organization, yet fairly attempted to evoke from him, Zarif, what Iran may will do, keeping in mind the end goal to change the dynamic in the Middle East to improve things. As indicated by the AP, one of these gatherings occurred in Oslo, Norway, and another in Munich, while a third gathering apparently occurred at the United Nations Central Command. Josh Rosenstein, an accomplice at the Sandler Reef Law Office who works in campaigning laws, told the AP that there's such a large number of vulnerabilities in the subtle elements of where the gatherings occurred and what was discussed to make a judgment about whether Kerry was violating any laws. These subtle elements are vital as FARA arrangements don't have any significant bearing to moves that made place altogether abroad, he said. The overlooked details are the main problem, Rosenstein told. Essentially offering guidance to a remote government doesn't make you an outside specialist. Kerry's representative Matt Summers guarded Kerry's conduct in an announcement, as per the AP. Kerry said in the meeting that he was not plotting with Iran about how to deal with the Trump Organization, yet somewhat endeavored to evoke from him, Zarif, what Iran may will do, keeping in mind the end goal to change the dynamic in the Middle East to improve things. As indicated by the AP, one of these gatherings occurred in Oslo, Norway, and another in Munich, while a third gathering purportedly occurred at the United Nations Central Station. Josh Rosenstein, an accomplice at the Sandler Reef Law Office who has practical experience in campaigning laws, told the AP that there are an excessive number of vulnerabilities in the points of interest of where the gatherings occurred and what was discussed to make a judgment about whether Kerry was overstepping any laws. These points of interest are pivotal as FARA arrangements don't have any significant bearing to moves that may be placed completely abroad, he said. The overlooked details are the main problem, Rosenstein told. Basically, offering guidance to a remote government doesn't make you an outside specialist. Kerry's representative Matt Summers guarded Kerry's conduct in an announcement, as per the AP.